Okay, guys, both of you onto the monitor. I'll just give you a small gist of what will be covered in basic and what will be covered in intermediate. We will start from intermediate only. See, the intermediate totally has around for 40 lessons. But in intermediate, we'll be definitely focusing more on grammar. We will be starting off with introduction to grammar. We will be talking about the parts of the speech, and then in the parts of the speech, everything would be told to you. And then it will continue with the second lesson again with parts of speech. Then we'll go for grammatical numbers and spellings. We'll talk about articles where a is used, where an is used, where the is used, and we talk about words as names starting with I, capital I and small I, and we'll start describing words location. Now what exactly we'll be covering in lesson 1? Lesson 1 will talk about 8 parts of the speech. We'll be going in detail about all these parts of the speech. After we understand these 8 parts of the speech, we will be going for the second lesson, where we'll be continuing with the parts of the speech, like adverb will be taking up, then we'll be taking up adjective, and then we'll be taking up preposition, then we will take up conjunction, interjection. Then in unit 4 we'll talk about grammatical number and spelling rules. Okay, how do you actually speak on singular and plural, and while we are doing that, how do you focus on spelling? Whenever a singular word converts itself into plural, we add up es, where you should be adding up es, where you should be just adding up yes, and where you should be adding up ies. We will be emphasizing on this even in basic, and then we will also come back to in advanced level. So after this we'll be going for articles. Whenever we try to frame a sentence, there are certain places where a has to be used, there are certain places where an has to be used, and there are certain places where the has to be used. We are going to talk about this. In article we'll talk about definite article, indefinite article, which is important, and then we will start seeing a lot of examples. Where should I use the, and where should I use the, where should I use a, or where should I use an. We'll give you certain examples and we'll start explaining that. And then we'll be going to unit 6, words as name, hi. So we will be emphasizing how do you understand the structure, who is, he, she is, and they are. The structure is I am. When I am defining about the first person, it is always I am. When I am defining about the second person, we always use it as he or she, and if there are more than one, we'll be using it as they. We'll be talking about the first person, and word as in the second person, and then we will be going for describing some of the advanced words. Next, in unit 9 we will be talking about how to use where is, where are, he is, she is, they are, these. When you learn this, you will know how to frame the sentence properly. We'll be using all the sentences, actually memorizing it and trying to use it in our conversation. Then we will go to time words. Whenever we specify a time, how do you use sentences there? And next we will go for B, forms and questions. And next we will try to understand the WH questions: who, what, which, and how, where, whom, why, when, whose. And next we'll go for action words. Always remember, whenever we are using verb, that is where your conversation will carry a meaning, because you are expressing a job. So any kind of an action that is being expressed, that will be called as a verb. We'll be looking at different forms of verbs. There are 5 different forms of verbs which we'll be studying in detail, one after the other. And then we will go for tenses. We will start with simple present tense, simple past tense, and simple future tense. and later on we will go for a little more advanced. In unit 15, again simple past and simple future. So simple future again in unit 16. And then in unit 17 we will go for again in present tense, past tense, future tense. There are further tenses which we are going to be looking at. The present continuous tense we'll be studying in detail, past continuous tense, and also future continuous tense. We'll be looking at all these exercises. All these both of you would have learnt in your 6th or 7th or 8th standard. Again, when you learnt this, your objective was only examination. Your objective was, for this question, what is the answer I will have to give. You never had an objective, can I use this in my communication so that I use a grammatically correct spoken English skills. No, we never meant that. I should be able to go to the exam, there would be questions given to me, I should be writing the right answers and I should score good marks. My objective was only that. Then we'll be going for future continuous tense. Then present perfect tense. Again, whenever we talk about tenses, there is perfect, there is imperfect tenses. Perfect means where I can define a time. This murder happened exactly at this time. That means it is perfect. When it is continuous, it would have happened from this time to this time, because the person was involved with the person, the teacher was involved with the student from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So it is definite with a vertical, with a bracket. These we call it as perfect tenses. So if I can go as narrowed as possible, we call it as a perfect tense. We will look into it. Whenever we are expressing any kind of a topic, if you can speak in perfect tense, then it looks real to the audience. When you don't speak with a perfect tense, it will look like I am vaguely saying. I am saying long ago there lived Rama. We don't say that. We exactly say at this particular year, at this particular month, at this particular day, at this particular time Rama was born. The argument that we had during this Babri Masjid, the argument was they gave exactly the date and time and the place and the location of the birth of Rama, and it was scientifically proved. That means whenever I am in an argument, I should be talking about facts. When I say facts, facts are actuals. It is not myth, it is fact. This fact has to be in perfect tense. A person who speaks in perfect tense, people will accept him. Person who does not speak in perfect tense, people don't accept. Even your goals, what is my goal in life? I want to get into a government job. It is not a perfect tense. Yes, to a certain aspects it's little perfect compared to somebody who's saying I want to get into a job. At least this guy has decided I want to go into a government job. In that government job, you should be very specific. This is a particular job and this is the particular profile I want to be, and this is the designation I want to work in. That is called as perfect tense. We will be looking at these perfect tenses also. And then we will go for unit 21, past perfect tense, and again future perfect tense. All these are very important while you are framing your sentences. Most of the let me put it like this, most of the communicators, when they are communicating in any language, they mostly go wrong in tenses. Most of them will go wrong in tenses. This is perfect continuous tense, present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, future perfect continuous tense. All these are there. Next we will be going to very important topic which is called as attitude words. We talk about positive attitude words, we talk about neutral attitude words, we talk about negative attitude words. We'll be speaking on these aspects. Whenever we are communicating, the kind of words what we use, that will define a person. Hey, he seems to be a very positive person. When a job is assigned, if I say tomorrow can you come for the seminar, now irrespective of whatever is my shift, if you make it up, so between 7 to 9 I will definitely be there, by 8:45 to 9. That means it is a positive note. I shall definitely be there. These are positive terminologies. If at all I say I will try to come, I shall come, or if I look for a reason, these are negative words. It is not in one particular situation. In all the situations, the words what you speak will define how confident you are in the subject. I'll give you a simple example. It was one such incident where they wanted to select a team members for 2020 First World Cup. They go to the seniors, because seniors are put in one room and they again come to the juniors are put in another room. So when they come to the seniors, they put it across telling, we want one captain from the seniors, we will have a combined team of 50% seniors and 50% juniors. When this was actually put across, none of the senior team players showed confident to become a captain. The first decision was, we will have to appoint a captain. Nobody even spoke. When you don't speak also, it is called as a negative. When personally somebody was questioned, why are you not speaking, Saurav, they told, I don't want to be a part of a team. A youngsters ka match hai, I don't have much exposure. You do like this. Let the team also be youngsters, let the captain also be from the younger ones. How many of you want to play? Most of them told, I don't want to play, I don't want to play. Yuvraj Singh told, I'll play but I cannot be a captain. Tendulkar told, I will play, I will not be a captain. Dravid Ravi told, I don't want to be a part of it. And Saurav Ganguly told, I don't want to be a part of it. So your communication makes a lot of difference. Now when they came to the junior team, first they put it across just to check the level of confidence, saying that we have already selected the captain, we have already selected the senior players, we just want junior players also to be joining them, so that a mixture of both will make our team very strong. Now just in case if I am looking for a captain, who would like to captain? When that message was passed on, immediately a hand raises, no, hand raised, a man stands up tall, that was Dhoni, and he says, "Apan ready a captainship karne ke liye." That is the confidence we want. The time what you take even to answer a question defines your confidence. And there was no looking back. Okay, aapko captain bana denge. And he was very happy. He was not surprised. Surprise was that he thought they will not consider him now, they may consider him in future. But when they told, I'm going to do it, he told, yes, jeet ke aaoge, 100% jeet ke aaoge. And that is called as positive words. We'll be talking about attitudinal words one by one, and then we will go for negative attitude words. Attitude words 3, to understand the usage of should, not, must not, need not. All these are little negative words. We will speak about them. And then attitude words, shall I, can I, could I. Shall I means I am confidently telling I shall do it. Can I means I am giving you an option. If you don't want, I will not do. Shall I means I really want to do, I will do. I could, that means I really could have done, but I cannot do. These can and could will be called as not so positive words. Shall is called as a very positive words. So we will look at how you will have to use all this by making sentences. Then again attitude words for 5, may, not, may I. And then we'll go for attitude words 6, could, used to, supposed to, likely to. These are very powerful words which we regularly use in our conversation. Neevu adr mel gamana kottirodilla because you have never cross-checked your communication skills when you have already spoken. As a teacher, we know how much of importance it plays when a person is actually speaking a very fluent English. All these makes a lot of difference. Then we will talk about infinitives, to understand infinitives. And then we will go to unit 30 where we will talk about gerunds. To understand the term gerund, it is a little tricky, but it is very easy. And then we will talk about let, let's, permit, allow, important words. And then we will talk about conjunctions. See, conjunctions, and whenever I am using complex sentences, the significance of complex is every shop put together in one place is called as complex. So the same concept, if I have multiple sentences, And when I'm talking about a particular topic, it is not that I use one sentence and I complete my talk. I'll have to use consistently lot of lines. So such things are called as complex sentences. So to join this complex sentences, what kind of words you use is very important. What kind of time gap you give while you are communicating or while you are writing is very important. We'll be speaking on these aspects. And then we will go for prepositions. After prepositions, we'll go for passive voice, active voice. You will be knowing this. The passive infinitives, modal passives, and we'll be talking about the degrees of comparison. ಇದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಗ್ರಾಮರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ನೀವು ಫೋಕಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Next we talk about punctuation. It is very important when it comes to writing even a simple email or writing a small invitation letter or writing a small text which will be SMS or which will be WhatsApp to lot of people. There are a lot of punctuations you will have to keep in mind. So we'll be talking about all these punctuations, the comma, the exclamatory, the single quotes, the double quotes, the semicolon, the colon, the double dot will be called as a colon, where you should use what, and what is the significance of dot. Why will they put a dot after an initial? Should the initial be written before the start of the person's name, or should the initial be written after the person's name? What is the first name, what is the second name, and what is called as a surname? We will talk about all this. Then also we will speak about capital letters. What is the significance of capital letters? Where all we will have to use capital letters? When we say grammar, grammar is where and how you will have to use capitalized letters. That is again a part of a grammar. We'll be speaking about that. So there are certain rule books. Whenever I'm talking about any degrees or titles, it has to be put in caps. It is being mentioned. Okay, whenever I'm mentioning a prefix like doctor, the first letter has to be in caps. So like that, there are some predefined rules. We'll talk about that. We talk about apostrophe, single and double, where it is used. Then we talk about exclamatory, where you will have to use this exclamation mark, and inverted commas. We say open inverted comma or closed inverted comma, or so sometimes we call it as quote, double quote, open double quote, closed the double quote, inverted comma or quotation marks. This is the double quotation marks. We will emphasize like that. Single inverted commas, single quotation marks. Where we will be using all this, we will be looking at it. And then there will be, after every lesson, there will be exercises. And after you complete these exercises, you would have completed the course. This is about the first class topics. Like I think you have not gone through, he has gone through. Our entire curriculum is divided into 2 sessions. We call it as a first session and the second session. For first session is a classroom session. I think you saw that. I sent you a video. ನೋಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸಿ ದಟ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ our spoken English curriculum will have 2 sessions. We call it as a classroom session, one more is a practice session. A classroom session where a teacher is involved in explaining you a lot of concepts, but in the practice session is where the students will be involved in actually communicating with the teachers on at least 5 compulsory verticals. One will be question answer session, and one more would be, when we come to the second session, what we will be looking in the second session, we'll be talking about which is the first one. Every Mondays we'll be talking on question answer session. Every Tuesday we'll be talking about situational conversation. Every Wednesday we are going to talk about a mock session of a situational conversation. Every Thursday we are going to talk about group discussion. One topic or two everybody will be asked to discuss, and every Friday we'll be preparing for the Saturday seminar. Saturday, every Saturday, early in the morning between 7 to 9, we will have a seminar. And evening, we will have a review of the seminar. ನೀವು ಸೆಮಿನಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮದು ತಪ್ಪಾಯಿತು, ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಬಾಡಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಹೇಗಿತ್ತು, ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಪ್ರೊನೌನ್ಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪಾಯಿತು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇತ್ತು, ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ನ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಏನಾದರೂ ಪ್ಲಸ್ಸಸ್ ಇತ್ತಾ ಮೈನಸಸ್ ಇತ್ತಾ, ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸಿಂಗ್. Now, along with this, you have understood the intermediate book. Now let me say why basic book is also important. For all those who are watching the video, see, basic is very important. You will understand the importance of basic only after you go through one of the video where I'll be emphasizing on IELTS and TOEFL. What are these IELTS and TOEFL is? These are international exams which will emphasize on trying to identify people who are fluent in English, both reading, writing, speaking, listening, understanding, and then they will be recruited to the job. ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ಆ್ಯಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸನ್ನು ಎದುರು ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇನ್ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್, TOEFL ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಜಾಬ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ US, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾ, ಕ್ಯಾನಡಾ, they expect you to clear these exams. These are international English exams. ಅವ್ರು ನೋಡಿದರೆ you have not seen, please go through it. ನಿಮಗೂ in your police department, when they want to put you into a cyber cell or they want to put you into an international forum where there will be a lot of foreign delegates who will be coming, you will have to be with them, or they may put you into an IT wing. In all these places your English has to be very fluent. You can earn double the salary what you are earning in the being in the same department, but they have to recognize that you are good, and they won't manually recognize. They will also ask you to clear some exams. Government body also is conducting the same kind of exams. Last time when there was one such requirement from one of the government department, which I don't want to name, they had sent around 25 candidates whom we trained them exactly from the IELTS model, IELTS and TOEFL model. What is this IELTS and TOEFL model? Your English reading skills, your English writing skills, and also instead of writing we will also talk about English typing skills. So English reading skills, English writing skills, along with writing, English typing skills. After that, English listening skills, okay, and English understanding skills. All the 5 verticals will be doing reading, writing, speaking, listening, understanding. Okay, this when we do, they will be test conducted. They will ask you to read few things, they will ask you to write an essay, and they will give you a passage, ask you to read the passage and answer it in your own words, and they will also give you a topic which you will have to write and give it to them. For all that you need to know this IELTS and TOEFL. For that your basics will have to be perfect. Now most of the time what we consider, I've been studying from so many years, I'm also a graduate, just because I studied in Kannada medium, why are you emphasizing me on speaking basic English? You need to learn basic English because most of your pronunciation is not up to the mark. I've seen even some of those students who come for advanced English. We have told you we have 3 levels of English: basic, intermediate and advanced. Some of them who come for advanced English also, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು basic English will be very horrible. Not all the verticals. There are few verticals which they will be bad. So what is that we'll be looking in basic English? We will just emphasize, and then we will take up 2 chapters and complete today. Yes, we will definitely talking about English alphabets. Here also there are around 39 lessons. We start with alphabets, classifying alphabets into vowels and consonants. After we have classified them as vowels and consonants, we will see a combination of vowels and consonant, how different sounds are produced. See, when I pronounce this, a basic student can pronounce it in whatever manner. At least if he sounds 50% close to the pronunciation, we will say good. But an intermediate student, there is no second option. He has to pronounce it perfectly, at least to 8 and above. If I keep a count from 0 to 10, for advanced it has to be 10 out of 10. Aeroplane has to be pronounced as aeroplane. You will be comfortable there. Aerial, you will be comfortable there. Aerodrome, you will not be comfortable here. Your pronunciation will change. So this is also very, very important. We will be talking about A combination of all the vowels, E combination, I combination, O combination and U combination. Then we will go for 2-letter words, how to use it in the form of a sentence. Then slowly we will go to 3-letter and 4-letter words, so that you understand the combination of words which is more than 2 letters. Here we have taken up 4-letter words, so some of them are 2, some of them are 3, some of them are 4, some of them are bigger than that. Pronunciation of all this perfectly is very, very important. I can challenge 2 of you are sitting here. In this, at least 10 words you will not be up to the mark, but remaining you will definitely do it perfectly. But when you are communicating in an exam, this 10 is more than enough to disqualify you as not so good English speaker for both of you. Only 10 words are important. Sometimes 10, instead of calling it as 0, you say 0, your interview has gone for a toss, because it creates a personality in the person who is interviewing you that I think is not good at pronunciation. I don't want to reject him, let us consider him next time. For time being, he is not been selected. He will put that resume into a different basket. Even in group discussion, for you also, you are already working. For him who has to go for a job, one of the round of the interview is what is called as group discussion. A topic will be given and you will have to speak on that topic. You will have to use new words. If you don't speak, still you will be rejected. And if you speak and if you don't speak grammatically correct English, still you will be rejected. So both the things, there is an hanging knife of rejection. So basic is important, because you should get used to uttering these words multiple times. Every Saturday when you come on a dais, stand on the dais, when you speak those words will actually build a lot of confidence in you. That is what is required for spoken English students. Because you lack confidence, that is the reason you did not get into English. You avoided English wherever possible. We'll be looking at that. We'll be talking about combination of E, combination of I, combination of O, combination of U. Again it is vowels. What are the vowels? A, E, I, O, U. So these combinations have to be understood perfectly. Only then the pronunciation will be right. Then we will go for vowel consonant combination with bigger letters. And then 3-letter words, 4-letter words, 5-letter words. And again, it is a challenge, and it is a proved fact that when you go for any kind of a word books, means you can call it as word books, or when I talk about this course material only, I will never speak any word which is not there in this basic book. I would never speak any word which is not there in basic book. I am not talking about intermediate. I am only claiming that whatever the words are there in basic book, other than that I would not utter even one word extra, and everything is there in the basic book. So what is your job? You should use it as a Bible and master every word. Mastering the word andaga, there are 2 aspects. One is you should know how to pronounce it, first capturing. Second capture, you should know how to spell it. Third one, you should know how to use it in the form of a sentence. That is for the basic level. For intermediate level, you should be able to use it in a conversation by consistently making multiple sentences. Only then I say you have a hold on it. ನನಗೆ ಕತ್ತಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದಾಗ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಗೊತ್ತು. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಎ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಯೂಸರ್. ನನಗೆ ಕತ್ತಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದನೂ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಇಟ್. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಆನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್. A katti in the hands of a cook only can do this. A katti in the hands of a warrior, it can also cook, it can also do. So I'll give you a simple example. Gun. You can make use of this in one sentence.
Gun. I before used gun.
Okay. I've been trained to use gun. That's fine. Okay, yours? Gun. Okay. See, now I am an expert. I am not expecting you to speak. You took such a long time, that should also not happen. It's a simple word, gun. You should have started ready, steady, go. A simple tool that is used for security purpose is termed as a gun. The main function of a gun is it would have a bullet which gets fired when a button is triggered. A gun could be an handheld gun, a gun could be a rifle which is too heavy, and gun sometimes is very dangerous in the hands of a wrong person. But the gun in the hands of a police or in the hands of a people who can take care of us, it is a God's greatest gift. A person who is not strong enough, a gun in his hand can always do enough good to the society because his mind is actually right. So we need to learn the skills of using a gun because we don't know how the environment is. If you are in a safe environment, I would advise a training on gun is going to be a curse on you. If you are not in a trained environment, then learning how to use a gun is very important. But let us speak the fun of using cracker guns. Whenever it was Deepavali, we always loved to use what is called as cracker guns. We used to put all those crackers into it. We used to call it as real crackers. I keep on punching the bullets and it starts hitting, making sound. And today when we talk about guns, there are so sophisticated guns. So now I'm stopping. What did I do? I did not use gun in one sentence. I used it in a conversation consistently. A gun will be given as a what is called as group discussion topic. Patapat, you should be able to give some points. That means you have conquered this to the intermediate level. So again I'm telling you, for intermediate also basic is there. For basic also basic is there. For intermediate, basic has to be learned in a manner that a word given to you, you should be able to combine it and use it in the form of a conversation, not just sentence. I don't know how many of you are knowing this. In one of the standard in our school days, they used to give two words and ask us to use it in one sentence. Water and glass. Ask them to use it in one sentence. What we used to say, okay, I collected half a glass of water under the tap. Okay, but today we will say, can you use four such things consistently, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, as many times as possible? Then you have a hold on your English. That has to be done. So we will go to the next. Again I'm repeating, whenever you are trying to look into the books of the basics, an intermediate student should know how to pronounce it properly, should know the spelling of it. If he needs to write it in his write-up, he needs to also know how to use it in the form of sentence. He should also know how to use it in the form of a conversation by using the same word multiple times, at least with a minimum of 10 sentences and used 10 times. That means you have a hold on this. And it's not going to be easy. It's very, very difficult. Belt and bath. You can use it. Belt and bath. Okay. Now your mind has to go think and then immediately bring it back. I still remember when I met with an accident and there was a cut in my finger. The doctors had advised me I'm not supposed to take bath for a week. I was feeling so bad about it because I cannot stay without taking a bath even for a day. So what I did, my mom gave me an idea that think of a belt. With belt you can still go to bath and never a drop of water will fall on the wound. Then I realized I could use the belt. I could tie it with the cover and then roll the belt over it and go and still take the bath and come back, and my wound would not be actually in the water. So like that, belt bath, you can always make use of it. So I had a bad wound, or when we talk about belt and bath, ಆ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂತು ಅಂದರೆ that means you have a hold on that word. Otherwise you don't have a hold on that word. That has to be practiced. Next we go to for 5-letter words. Next, some of the things which is very important while you are discussing. Namge ಏನು ಅನ್ಸ್ಬೋದು, our universe I have already studied in my school days, why should I know it now? For some of us who regularly keep communicating, some of the basic general knowledge things should not be forgotten. When you forget it, you are not a good communicator. You should never forget. It could be the Prime Minister of India, the present to be President of India, the Chief Minister of Karnataka, the past Chief Minister of Karnataka, who is the Mayor of Bangalore, what are the addresses of Bangalore, which is the capital city of Bangalore, and who is the corporator, all these are must. I am a communicator. I cannot go as a spokesperson to the TV and I don't know, somebody says, have you visited Lal Bagh? And I will be blinking. Then it's better you don't go to such forums. How could you actually say you are a Bangalorean and you don't know where Lal Bagh is and you have never visited Lal Bagh? In the same manner, when we say you are a good communicator, there are certain basic bare minimum things you should know in English. We are not teaching geography here. Most of you, when you attend for the first class, what is this? They are teaching me about different continents. Yes, if you know some of the changes would have happened in this place, Google is there. Please update your knowledge. The old 9 planets may not exist today also. Go as per today, find out what it is. And that knowledge and those words, can you pronounce it properly and can you express it in your own ways? It becomes very, very important. Next, the 7 continents, the 5 oceans. And when we are talking, I am an Indian. Most of the time, I don't know whether you guys are aware, I used to teach in BPO sectors. They used to send students here only, and I used to also teach in call centers. So one of the basic instructions that was given by us is teach them about Indianism and India. When they go out and represent India, when I go to US, somebody happens to meet me, hey, you seem to be an Indian. I just have a few questions if you have time. You can't say, no, I don't have time, I don't know anything about India. If you say that, I think you should be gunned down. You should not be given the visa to go to US. So every employee who is going to go there, we teach them basic Indianism. We don't want them to go there and project India as something else. We want them to project what India is. When Modi goes to the foreign countries, he projecting what India is. India is yoga. He projected that. India is the country which gave 0. Otherwise, we knew it, most of us knew it, but we were actually thinking we don't know it only. But deep inside, we knew it was 0 that was given by an Indian, and it was our fruit which is actually been fruitful, and the entire world is enjoying the technology. We know that. We know about Aryabhatta, we know about Vedic mathematics, but what has happened? Because of bad communication, we were not able to project it to the outside world. Now we have started projecting. They are going to come with a very big park on Aryabhatta, on Vedic mathematics. Such a big park they are going to come. Every foreigner who visits India will definitely visit, not Taj Mahal. They will visit this Aryabhatta park, where it will be told about, in that civilization, how Indians could think that the world is round. These things will be taught. So what we do there, in BPO on call center, we will be teaching about India. We'll be actually talking to them about Indian anthems. We will be talking about Indian emblems. We'll be talking about national flag. We'll be talking about a lot of important things. This is important when I go out. Hey, you seem to be in India. I'm from USA. Can I introduce you? My name is John, and you introduce yourself. My name is Mallikarjun. And he will say, our national anthem, it has so many lines. What about yours? Janaganamana. Now you start counting. No, you should know. Who wrote yours? And he got Nobel Prize also. No, what is his name? Before you ask, you should be able to pat say Rabindranath Tagore. So it makes a lot of difference. Oh, what is our national song? It is Vande Mataram. Who wrote it? Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Who wrote it? Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. It should come perfectly pronounced. Then, hey, that Indian, na? The way he expressed, I don't know, I had heard about Swami Vivekananda in my books, but I felt like a part of Swami Vivekananda is in him. That was the English what he followed. And you should listen to that speech. He stands in Chicago, and he says, my beloved brothers and sisters of America. The way he speaks, there is a vibration there. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇನ್ನೇನು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ದವರು ನಿಂತು ಹಿಂದೆ ತಿರುಗಿ ನೋಡೋವಷ್ಟು ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೊನೌನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್. ಸೊ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುಯಾಲಿಟಿ ವಿಲ್ ಟಾಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಫ್ರೂಟ್. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟು. ಈವನ್ ಅವರ್ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. Okay, our territories are important, capital of our territory, this is also important. Yes, we will be talking about how to improve your spellings. Most of this, if you are good, you should be able to complete in just 1 minute. Most of you will not. Why? Because you are not good in spelling. Only a person who is good in spelling can complete it very fast. So this is also important for you. We'll be doing this. We'll also be talking about articles. We told in intermediate English, a and the. We won't say and give you an explanation of articles, but we will directly ask you to use and where I should be using a, where I should be using and, where I should be using the. It's direct approach. Next. This for fill in the blanks, and then we'll go to unit 7, name and numbers. What is Roman letters? What is the decimal system? How a crore is? A little bit of understanding. It doesn't mean that you don't know. Some of it you won't know. 30th the spelling you won't know. 40th the spelling you won't know. But 40th this you can read. Always when an English student looks at a textbook, your focus will be, I know this, I know this, I know this, why should I read this? No, your objective is, I don't know only this, for this sake I'll read all. That should be a objective of it. I don't know that 12th, if I ask you to tell 12th, most of you will say TWELTH. Most of you don't know F is silent and F has to be written there. Most of us don't know. What we will do, we will give you dictation first before teaching you this. If the book is there, you will learn and come beautiful. Then we will ask you to correct your spellings, and you will know in this most of the intermediate students maximum they score is 65%. So 35% they still commit mistakes. So basic is required for you. You are intermediate students, that basic book is not a basic book, it's a step 1 book for you. And second book is called as a step 2 book. Next we will go to lakhs, million, billion. Most of us don't know 1 billion means how many lakhs, because we have never seriously thought like that. We'll be talking about that. 10 million equals 1 crore. Okay, 1 million equals 10 lakh. We will be speaking on these aspects. We will talk about unit 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, crore, 10 crore, 100 crore, 1000 crore, like that it grows, 1 lakh crore. Okay, then so some of the important symbol, plus, minus, multiply, divide, percentage, at the rate of, equal, full stop, comma, apostrophe. Let me not take too much of time, kilometer. All this is required. When we push you to US, we will be saying what is the measurement there. Here it is rupees and paisa. What is the measurement there? Here we say for a petrol, 1 liter of petrol, we say gas there. Where is the gas station? And you will be saying, I don't need a gas station, I want to go to petrol. He says, you're looking for a gas station, that is the gas station. No, petrol. It will be too much of a inconvenience. We will teach you what is the alternative word in that place, regular conversation. And then Roman letter is also important. Most of the boards will be mentioning only Roman letters. You should know how to read Roman letters also. We will be emphasizing on that. And then we will talk about the days of the week, how it is pronounced, and a month, how it is being pronounced. We will talk about AM, PM, and what is afternoon, because most of you don't know what is noon and afternoon. Anybody? What is noon, what is afternoon?
Afternoon ಅಂದ್ರೆ 12 ಗಂಟೆ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ.
Correct. Noon ಅಂದ್ರೆ
12 ಗಂಟೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ 12 ಗಂಟೆ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ ನೂನ್. 12 ಮುಂಚೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್. 12 ಗಂಟೆ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ನೂನ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ 12 ಗಂಟೆ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ ನೂನ್. ಇದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಚೂರು ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದು ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ, ವೆನ್ ಯು ರೀಲರ್ನ್ ಇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಅಪ್ ದಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೆಮರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನೆವರ್ ಗೋ. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಯು. Okay, what is fortnight, what is month of the year? All these are very important when you are communicating, because one he says, I think in a fortnight I can complete it. Fortnight and 15 dinana, 1 varana, 15 dinana, 1 varana. No confusion, you should have clarity. We'll be speaking on that. And seasons, you should know what seasons we have. Summer, winter, spring, autumn. Autumn we don't have. We have summer, we have rainy, we have spring, and summer, winter, rainy, Spring. Summer, winter, rainy, spring. We have only for 4 seasons. So depending on the place where we are, you should understand what are all the seasons available there. I will also check if there is any changes in our season. Words showing direction. Whenever you are actually giving address, you should be comfortable in saying diagonally. If you don't remember diagonally, if you say directly opposite, you will say, what is this, Mr. Malik? You should have told me it's diagonally opposite, na? You just told opposite. I got confused. You should know how to actually express it perfectly. That makes a lot of difference. In the center, around, go towards, between, by, all these are important. ಆಮೇಲೆ how comfortable are you to use it, and whatever ನೀವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. You will have to answer that. That is one. Yes, names of flowers may not be so important, but some of the vegetables you don't know in English what it means. Some of the vegetables, though we speak Kannada, most of us don't know in Kannada what it means, because we would have taught from the examination point of view in 3rd or 4th standard, and we have forgotten there also. Exam over, forget everything, and again next academic year will come, start learning new things. Exam over, forget everything. But here we will be revising some of the important things. All the fruits, all the vegetables, all the greens means suppose we'll be talking. Most of it even I am confused. Then we will talk about the silent letters. When I use certain words, there will be certain letters which is not being used at all. Okay, we'll be talking them as silent letters. Word in which C is not pronounced, words in which D is not pronounced, words in which B is not pronounced. Okay, words in which K is not pronounced. We will be speaking on these. Words in which U is not pronounced. Why means U means buyu. It should be becomes U is there, bu it should become. But we actually say is by, ba we use. Then why did I use buy? So there are certain places where U is not pronounced. You should know this. ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದಾಗ ನೀವು ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ you can pronounce the words in front of others. Otherwise you will get confused. These are common words. The moment you see, it gets into your mind. There are certain words which will have you, which you are not aware of, which he is not aware of. Some words even I am not aware of. For the first time when that word comes, we will get confused. We will not be able to pronounce it properly. Okay, when we say I have a gut feeling, gut. Okay, so we should be using you, so it should be good. Why? When it is put put, why can't gut become good? So put is different. Yes, we will be looking at such confusing things. We will speak about grocery. Grocery items are very, very important. You go to a small buffet and or you let it be you are going for a small party, a very stylish party. You should know what to ask for. The waiter will ask, oh, what do you want? I need some pulses. What do you have in pulses? Then he will say some 2-3 varieties. Do you know those pulses? It's important that when we are communicating with people, you should know how to talk to them. The chef will come, sir, is there any spices you are allergic to which I should not use? Then I will say, see, I am a Jain. I don't want any products which has even a little of onion, or which is the other one. So when you define it like this, no, I don't like coconut oil. Whatever you do, you will have to use castor oil. No, I don't like castor oil. You should be using groundnut oil. Okay, like this, all this becomes very, very important. So basic is also very, very important for you. Then so some of the dishes, batter, sambar, we'll be talking about egg, green gram. Okay, family relationship. Most of us don't know different kinds of family representations in English. Everybody is uncle and aunt, but there is a right way of using it. Sometimes we won't be able to say younger sister instead of younger. We say, where is your big sister? The moment you use that, it always says that you have used it wrongly. That should not happen. Stages of human. Initially we were a baby. In the mother's womb we were an egg. Then we were a baby. Then we were a child. We were a minor. We were a teenager. We were an adult. So bachelor, spinster, all these words are also important. So some of the more words, fiancé, okay, fiancé. A girl whom a boy is marrying is called as a fiancé. A boy whom a girl is marrying is called as fiancé. So most of us do not know that. A boy should actually introduce his girl whom he is marrying as she is my fiancé. The girl will introduce the boy saying, is my fiancé. We do not know. We just think vaguely and we will say, is the boy whom I am going to marry. Hey, why is he saying like this? Why can't he say actually fiancé or fiancée? So, this is important. Divorcee. The legal ending of a marriage, the person who is divorced is called as a divorcee. The legal ending of a marriage is called as a divorce. We will look into these aspects also. And most of us don't know different parts of the body. When we go to the doctor, is your ankle paining? Ankle and Reno, you will start wondering because you are not used to it. Okay, so we will be speaking about that, and it is very important that you know that the five sensory organs and the sixth sense organs. A brain is called as a sixth sensory organs. It's important. See, the topics in this is very important. So we'll be talking about, there are 4 types of teeth in our mouth. They are, okay, that is one. Unit 16, name of common ailments, and then we will go for Unit 17, keywords. 1 inch equals how much? And Unit 18, names of professions and occupation. We don't know. Happy night, hero. We really don't know many of the professions and occupations. We'll be talking about that. Okay, a tailor, a trader, a typist, a waiter. Idralli 80% you will know, but it is very important for you to learn that balance 20%. Then only you are qualified for advanced level. Okay, now shun words. How do we use this shun words? We call it as tile words, ture words, cn words. All these are very important. We'll be speaking of them. Common words and homophones. Homophones are the words which actually sound same, but it will have different spelling and different meaning. Sound is the same. B, birth, but the meaning is different and the spelling is different. We'll be speaking about that. Other than whatever is given, I will teach you how to identify some of the other words also from an advanced level perspective. You may not be mastering it in 3 months, but at least I will give you the leads telling you it is not just these 100 words which are called as homophones. There are thousands of words which are homophones, but with this 100 you can manage anything, and that is what we would like to emphasize. Next, we will also talk about tenses here, but we will not go as we went in intermediate. In intermediate we went very detailed. Here we will just simply go present tense singular, present tense plural, past tense singular, past tense plural, future tense singular, future tense plural. Simple way. Some of the sentences using all tenses. We'll be talking about present tense, we'll be talking about past tense, we'll be talking about future tense. We will teach you how to use it properly. Yes, 50% you will know in this, 50% you need to be trained. Okay, next, after that we will go for some more example. Again, singular plural. We may not go as in depth as we go in intermediate, but most of them, when I am handling intermediate classes, they really don't know basic singular plural also. I am not talking about difficult, basic. We'll be talking about SS words, yes word, CH word, SH word, O word, X word, V word, ES. Okay, all these are important. Where F replace VES, where Y is replaced by IES, we'll be looking at that. And next we will go for action words. Again, action words are verb. I spoke in intermediate also. Here in this group also we'll be speaking about this verb, which is very, very important. Anyway, I'll be sharing this video. Just listen multiple times so that you understand. Whenever we talk about tenses, we take a word, we speak the present tense of it, a past tense of it, so that you understand. And if you wanted to take up one more line and speak about the future tense of it, we will show you that also, how to use it. Again, these are all action words, common expressions, and then we will go for some common and familiar sentences. These are very simple sentences, but you can add up an additional sentence, and then you start using 2-3 of this into a complex sentence. Okay, I was a student, now I am a teacher. That means in this school I am I am a student, and I was a student in this school, I am a teacher now. It is 2 sentences. How will I join? I will have to say I was a student and now I am a teacher in this school. This sounds, hey, he told 2 things. Some of them will be able to say 3 and 4 and that. That is usage of complex sentences. When you use complex sentence, people call, wow, she or he knows good English. Now, all these are important. We will ask you to actually convert these into complex sentences by joining 2-3 and using it in the form of a sentence. Rewrite the jumbled words. You need a little practice for this. This is actually given to check your strength in spelling. Whether you are good in spelling, that will be defined by how fast you can rejumble this word. You can put yourself into test. You will not be up to the mark because you wouldn't have taught from this vertical only. We will be teaching you. Okay, write one word substitute for all this. One who stitches our dress, tailor. Okay, now he is a tailor. What if he is a he tailor or a she tailor? How do you use that? Is a woodcutter. If there is a he woodcutter and she woodcutter, what will be that called? Most of us don't know that answer, and we want to jump directly to intermediate. It's not right. Next, giving instructions. We saw attitude in intermediate. Same thing will be taught here, but simple ones. If these simple ones, if you can master, it is as good as you have mastered intermediate. Okay, we'll be talking about this. Most of the time, whenever we are with 2 people, I think you should wash the vehicles. The vehicles are very dirty. So it is a line. What we will be doing from basic point of view, if he knows how to use this, is okay. Now for intermediate, what we will say, can you use a sentence before this? Can you use a sentence after this? That means you have a hold on it. Ravi always keeps his vehicles clean. He always asks his housekeeping boy to wash the vehicles without fail, and he keeps washing his vehicle at least once every alternate days. So that way, can I use this sentence in the form of a conversation by adding a few sentences at the beginning, by also adding a few sentences at the end? That means I have gained vocabulary on this sentence. Again ansate, A, she can use this sentence wherever she wants, very comfortably. That skill set you will learn. Next, giving instructions in a negative manner. Don't talk, don't go, don't stop. Okay, all this. Don't, when I use, it is called as go. Instead of don't cheat, I can always, instead of saying don't go, it would be nice if you stay, please stay. This is a positive word. If when you say don't go, I did not say that I will be going also. You only using don't go. I did not say I'm going only. Na? Does she mean that she wants me to go? So it conveys a different meaning altogether. So we will be speaking on those aspects. Then short forms. Do not, you should use it as don't. Were not, we will have to use that as weren't. So what is the right kind of pronunciation? We'll be speaking on those terms. Prefixes. How to add prefixes. A letter or a 2-letter or a 3-letter word before a word, and then it becomes and conveys a different or sometimes opposite meaning. Wanted, unwanted. You tell me whether I am wanted or unwanted in this class. I will say you are wanted. Am I a member? I am a non-member. Is it possible or is it impossible? So is it, do you have the ability, or your inability is speaking, or your ability is speaking? My ability is speaking, so only I want to be a captain. Dhoni told. So there are different kinds of prefixes: un, non, in, I'm, il, re, dis, en, nis, ir. Most of you did not know about this. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಬುಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಚೂರು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಎಸ್, ಯು ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬ್ರಾಟ್ ಎ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಗ್ರಾಮರ್ ಬುಕ್. ಆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಗ್ರಾಮರ್ ಬುಕ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ದೇನೆ ಆಕ್ಸ್ಫರ್ಡು ನೀವು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಯಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಬೇಡವೇ ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಕೀಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಫ್. But this you will find it is quite easy because it has been designed like that. Next we will talk about prefixes. Okay, prefixes with others. Okay, collect, recollect, side, inside, we'll be speaking on those. All these are very important. You should know how to join them, speak. You should know how to use it in the form of a sentence. You should know how to use it in the form of a conversation. All this has to be after this we will go for unit 31. These are the letters used after a word. That means when I say prefix, something which comes before a word. When I say suffix, something which comes after a word. Okay, we will be talking sing. When I add up er, it becomes singer. So we will talk about er, or, al, ment. ಇದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಕಾನ್ವರ್ಸೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ. ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್, ರಿಪೋರ್ಟರ್, ರಿಪೋರ್ಟೆಡ್, ಆಲ್ ತ್ರೀ ಕನ್ವೇಸ್ different meaning. Report, reporter, reported, reporting. So 4 forms ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Sometimes you will get it in 5 forms also. Eat, eatery, eating, ate. Okay, eaten, eated ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, eaten. So you should know the different forms of the verb, how you can use it in the form of a sentence, and where what has to be used. ಅದನ್ನು ಕಲಿಯೋದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, that is actually spoken English skills. We'll be teaching you that. Yes, names of animals is important. We don't say no. You will have to know all kinds of animals, and most of the time, what is a male animal called, what is a female animal called. Okay, that is also important. Male is called as tiger, female is called as tigress, and the younger ones are called as cub. This is also important. It may look like I have studied in 7th, but most of it you will not know. Knowing it is very, very important for various reasons. So we insist that you will have to learn. E sheep, she sheep, lamb. E zebra, she zebra, fool. So we'll be talking about that, animals and their houses. That means animals do live in a place, and that place will be given a special name. So that we'll be talking about. Then when we talk about names of animal flesh, maybe you wouldn't have heard about this. For the first time you would be listening. Cow's flesh is called as beef meat. Hen's flesh is called as chicken. Goat, sheep's flesh is called as mutton. Calf's flesh is called as veal. Pig's flesh is called as pork. Deer's flesh is called as venison. Camel's flesh is, again, they call it generally as meat. Rabbit's flesh is also called as rabbit meat. In general, we call it as camel's meat, rabbit's meat. So common expressions. Expression skill is very important. How you can express positively. Describing words. Can you describe what is happening? Can you give a feedback about this class? That describing words is very important. She seems to be very depressed. The class was fantastic. It was beautiful. It was very calm. It was very soothing. And it gave a feeling of that homely atmosphere. See how many describing words are used. How was the class? Good. That means you are not a good communicator. You should know how to communicate. Okay, air, behavior, place, things, and filling all purpose application forms. Sometimes the way you write an email, you will always know only because of your email. Either you get a offer letter, or you get a call, interview call, or you will not get an interview call. Most of them, they design beautiful resume, going and paying a professional 5,000 rupees. Like people come and they design a resume. I charge them 2,500. The resume is so good. Somebody tells him, can you just mail your resume? We have a requirement for senior admin. He writes, applying for senior admin. My resume is attached. Thank you. And he sends. You will never get a call. Then I will say, okay, why have you not got a call? Everybody else got a call. They ask you to send a mail. Can you forward me the mail? And they will forward the mail, and I will say, if you send this kind of a mail, they won't call you even for a security job. Why? Because your English is not smooth. I'm not saying security job is less. The Army, Indian Navy, Army, Air Force, they are keeping us secured. I'm not saying security job is less important or more important, but you should know how to write a mail, how to fill up an application, how to fill up bank challenge, how to fill up railway reservation forms. Most of them, if you say fill the Aadhaar form, their heart will start beating, and they will say, can you help me fill in this form? No, you should know how to fill and what rules to follow. If you don't know this, you will be considered as not so good communicator. So writing is also important. We will ask you to fill. Some of them should know if the chalan is too big, use your handwriting big. If the chalan is small, use your handwriting small. Some of them ಏನೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು I will not change the size of my writing. No, you should change. You give them a bank chalan, ಇಷ್ಟು ದಪ್ಪ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, and we will ask, is this the way to fill up the form? If you fill up this form, they will reject you. You should match the size of the column, and then it has to be filled. People who have learnt Excel will understand this. People who have not learnt Excel, they will not understand that the wordings has to be fit into the space. It should not overfill. Most of them, when we give a form to fill, the form is overfilled. The name will be crossing the line. It will be going for the next line. So such kind of a filling is considered as invalid. That is the reason when you go to voting also, you will be surprised. Even in this yesterday's president voting, few of them were rejected because they did not know where to press what. And such people are ruling us. Look at the sadness of what has happened. So you should know where to tick, how to put a straight line, how to put a cross line, how to put a tick, where to put a tick. ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಕಾಲಮ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲೋಗಿ ಟಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನು ಏನು ಅನ್ಕೊಬೇಕು, ಇಸ್ ದ ಟಿಕ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಆರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾಲಮ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾರಿಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದರ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯಾರಿಡ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಟಿಕ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್, ಈ ಡಸಂಟ್ ನೋ ವಿಚ್. That's the reason sometimes they give you blocks and they ask you to fill up the letter within the block. Most of them will not be able to do that also properly. One of the A will be smallly written, one of the A will cross the entire picture. Both are wrong. It should equally match the entire. Sorry, I am also overwriting. It should be within that box. Yes, filling up of the form. Filling bank chalan, we will give you an idea what does all this mean, because most of them, they don't know how to read it. DD and Reno, MT and Reno, TT and Reno, LF and Reno, they will have these complications. We will ask you to deposit, how to fill up a bank deposit chalan latest. We'll give you a sample, ask you to do it. And when you are filling up online application form, we will teach you how to fill up an online application form. Sometimes we ask you to create email IDs in social media so that you learn how to fill up these forms, how to tick this in an online form. Here it is a printout, you will be writing and you will be ticking like this. This line has to be here. If you can put it within, excellent. Okay, now if you are ticking, if it is not, you will have to leave it as blank. So how to fill this? When we go to unit 37, yes, a few more words on shopping place, about the computer, about the mobile, charge, recharge, call waiting, validity. Most of these words we don't know. Hey, what's a problem with your phone? Idral call waiting bartide. So you should know what does that call waiting means. I want to delete my contact, or I have accidentally deleted a contact. Can I actually retrieve it? That is a question you will have to talk. So all these are important. We will ask you to speak about handset, the 3-4 sentences, music, who is called as a DJ, who is called as a VJ, who is called as an RJ. All these are important. Then in unit 38, there is and there are. Most of us don't know how to use and when to use singular form. Is singular form, R is plural form. Right now when I asked you to give your self introduction, you should have told my hobbies are, when you have more than one. If you have only one, my aim is, I have only one. My hobbies are, my goals are, because I have two goals. One is goal for the country and I have my own personal goal. So like that. So you should know where to use are, where to use is. We'll be teaching that. There is and there are. When I ask you to utter a sentence and I do a mistake, instead of are, if I give is, and if I give you and I say mention it is true or false, at least 50% of the places you will go wrong, because you will not know the rule of that. We'll be teaching you that. Again, these are, those are. These mean something here, those, how to actually express that. And then we will talk about simple sentences. Ma'am, to 2 minutes you can leave. After 2 minutes, it's only the last page. Okay. Now all this will be covered in basic. It should not take more than 2 weeks. We have already completed 3-4 lessons. We'll be completing it in other maximum 8 to 10 days. But after completion also, you will have to consistently keep working on this. Only then you will be able to perfect it. So this ends to today's class. Thank you. Love you all so much. Wishing you most and more. Have a happy day.